journalist.
87-0, and you're not biased.
I think that is concerning if those numbers are accurate.
It's concerning. I mean, it wasn't 44-43. It wasn't 60-27. It wasn't 70-17. It wasn't even 80-7. It was 87 Democrats, 0 Republicans, and you say NPR is not biased.
Our current editorial leadership believes that that was a mistake, as do I.
Yeah, the whole country knows that was a mistake. Definitely impacted the election, or I think it certainly impacted the election. How about the COVID origin story? That's a pretty big story too, right? Mr. Berliner said, we became fervent members of the team natural origin, even declaring that the lab leak was debunked by scientists. Turns out, though, the lab leak is what most people think actually caused the COVID virus.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into a heated congressional hearing that put NPR under the microscope, and it's raising serious questions about media bias, taxpayer funding, and journalistic integrity. In this explosive exchange, a congressman grills NPR over claims of partisan reporting, double standards, and declining public trust. Stay tuned, because what came out in this hearing is jaw-dropping. Before we jump in, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss our future deep dives into media and politics. It all started when the congressman questioned NPR Representative Miss Maher about Eric Berliner, a veteran NPR editor with 25 years at the network. Berliner, an award-winning journalist, blew the whistle on what he called a clear political imbalance inside NPR. He found 87 registered Democrats and 0 Republicans in editorial positions. 0. When asked if that was true, Maher couldn't deny it. She just said, "We don't track that information." The congressman fired back, suggesting that kind of political tilt could only mean institutional bias. But Maher doubled down, claiming NPR is non-partisan. Then came the tough questions about NPR's coverage of 3 of the biggest political stories in recent history: Trump, Russia, the Hunter Biden laptop, and the COVID lab leak. On the Trump-Russia story, Berliner said NPR hitched its wagon to Adam Schiff, interviewing him 25 times, but when the Mueller report found no collusion, coverage just disappeared. Maher admitted the numbers sound right, but wouldn't comment further. Then came the Hunter Biden laptop scandal. NPR dismissed it as a distraction, but now even Maher admits, quote, that was a mistake. She even agreed it likely impacted the 2020 ballot.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Ms. Maher, who is Uri Berliner?
Mr. Berliner is a former senior editor,
That's all?
a former senior business editor for NPR.
How long do you work at NPR?
I believe he was there just over 25 years.
25 years? Award-winning journalist? Did he win any awards?
Our time did not
Peabody
overlap.
Award? That's pretty important, isn't it?
That is,
So
absolutely.
pretty distinguished journalist, right?
Certainly.
And he wrote a long story about what you do at NPR. Is NPR biased?
Congressman, I have never seen any instance of
Never?
political bias determining editorial decisions, no.
Well, Mr. Berliner, in his story last year, wrote, in the D.C. area, editorial positions at NPR, he said he found 87 registered Democrats, 0 Republicans. Is that accurate?
We do not track the numbers or the voter registration, but I find that
Was award-winning journalist who worked 25 years at NPR, Mr. Berliner, was he lying when he wrote that?
I am not presuming such. I just don't have, we don't track that information about our journalists.
87-0, and you're not biased.
I think that is concerning if those numbers are accurate.
It's I mean, it wasn't 44-43. It wasn't 60-27. It wasn't 70-17. It wasn't even 80-7. It was 87 Democrats, 0 Republicans, and you say NPR is not biased. How about the big stories over the last few years? According to Mr. Berliner, again, he wrote on the Trump-Russia story, he wrote, at NPR, we hitched our wagon to Trump's most visible antagonist, Representative Adam Schiff. He said they interviewed him 25 times. Is that accurate?
I was not there at the time, but those numbers sound accurate. Yes.
Those sound accurate. But then he said when the Mueller report came out and they said, Robert Mueller said he found no evidence of collusion, he said, Russiagate faded from our programming. Is that accurate?
Again, I was not there at the time. I couldn't say.
You couldn't say?
I was not at NPR at the
You
time.
didn't prepare for that? You knew we were going to ask you about this guy, didn't you? It's come up like 6,000 times already in the hearing. You
I
didn't
just
prepare for
couldn't say whether it faded from our coverage, sir.
How about this story? October 2020, the New York Post had the Hunter Biden laptop story, and one of those editors, I guess one of those 87 Democrat editors, said this: we don't want to waste our time on stories that are not really stories. We don't want to waste the listeners' and readers' times on stories that are just pure distractions. Was that a pure distraction story?
Our current editorial leadership believes that that was a mistake, as do I.
Yeah, the whole country knows that was a mistake. Definitely impacted the election, or I think it certainly impacted the election. How about the COVID origin story? That's a pretty big story too, right? Mr. Berliner said, we became fervent members of the team Natural Origin, even declaring that the lab leak was debunked by scientists. Turns out, though, the lab leak is what most people think actually caused the COVID virus.
And when the lab leak theory came up, NPR was accused of calling it bunk. Now, that same theory is widely accepted as credible. At that point, the congressman didn't hold back. He said NPR was 0 for 3 on the biggest stories of the last 5 years, and yet still claims to be neutral. Maher kept repeating that NPR is nonpartisan, but the facts didn't seem to back it up. Then came another blow: audience numbers. NPR's listenership dropped from 60 million to 43 million in 5 years. That's a loss of 17 million people. Maher tried to spin it as growth because it's gone up by 2 million recently, but the congressman wasn't buying it. Things got even more heated when the congressman asked why taxpayers are still subsidizing NPR, given the drop in audience and trust. Maher claimed federal funding mostly goes to local stations, but eventually admitted NPR gets $11 million in direct taxpayer funds. Then came the mic drop moment. The congressman revealed NPR sent out a fundraising email during the hearing itself, ending with "Donate now." He called it hypocritical, using taxpayer credibility to raise donations from the same audience accused of being overwhelmingly left-leaning. This hearing exposed some serious cracks in NPR's claim of being neutral and nonpartisan. From political imbalance and biased coverage to declining public trust, it's clear why so many Americans feel the media no longer represents everyone fairly. What do you think? Should taxpayer money still fund NPR? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you believe in holding powerful institutions accountable, make sure to like this video, share it, and hit that subscribe button for more truth-driven political breakdowns. Thanks for watching.
Sorry, is there a question there?
There is. You guys were 0 for 3 on the three of the biggest stories in the last 5 years. You guys were 0 for 3, and yet you maintain that NPR is not biased?
Congressman, I do not believe we are politically biased. No, we are a nonpartisan organization.
Nonpartisan organization. What's happening to your listeners over the last 5 years? Went up, down, or stayed the same?
It has gone up and down and is now going back up.
Well, I thought 5 years ago it was at 60 million. And you said in your opening statement, I think, 43 million.
That's correct.
So 43 million now, and it was at 60 million 5 years ago. I can do some math. That looks like it went down.
And is now going back up.
It's now going back up?
Yes, it is.
How much has it went back up?
It's gone up a couple of millions over the past years.
So you went from 60 million to 41 million. Now you're back up to 43 million.
In a year's time, I'm very proud of that growth, sir.
Okay, you're proud of that growth. Okay. But over 5 years, it's went down 18 million.
That is correct, sir.
Okay. Should taxpayers subsidize NPR?
I believe that taxpayers subsidize local stations, sir. That is the vast majority of where
I thought you
federal
said you got
funding
11 million from Corporation of Public Broadcasting, which is taxpayer funded directly to you, right?
goes. That is to support the public
And then
radio
local
satellite
stations get it
system.
from the Corporation of Public Broadcasting, right? They get taxpayer
100
money.
million that goes to the local
100 million goes to
stations,
local stations, and then those local stations buy back programming and content from you. So that money goes to the local stations, comes back to you, gets routed through the local stations, all taxpayer money.
Those fees are actually based on private donations rather than on federal funding.
Well, we all know money's fungible, so some of it gets put in there.
Certainly, we could agree that money is fungible.
What? More money for less listeners. You fired the guy who pointed all this out, who said that you were so biased to the left that you lost listeners, which is exactly happening, and you're here maintaining that, oh, you need to continue to get taxpayer money.
I did not fire Mr. Berliner, sir.
Okay, the guy that left after all that. Understand. Are you fundraising off today's hearing?
Sir, I believe that there was a message that went out earlier today letting people know we were coming in. Yes.
Yeah, and at the bottom of the message it said, donate now, right?
I don't recall the exact
I can
language.
show it to you. Right there it is, donate now. I mean, I'm not against fundraising. We all do it. I mean, I get it. But it's, I assume this fundraising thing is probably going to all the left listeners who are subsidized content by the taxpayers, and that's
The
the
gentleman's
rub.
time is
That's
expired.
the rub. I yield back.
I now recognize Ms. Randall from Washington for 5 minutes.